Duarte.
And there you have it. We're about to see the under 99 kilogram final. We're going to send it to our commentators at Mat 2.
All right, guys, we return to the action here. It's Craig Jones versus Kaynan Duarte in the men's 99 and under kilogram division here at the 2022 ADCC World Championship. This is Ricardo Amendolia calling the action with Mr. Chase Smith. I got Mr. Sean Williams, and we got Kaynan versus Craig, the rematch for the gold.
Man, what a campaign for Craig Jones so far throughout this tournament. His match with Nicholas Marigali in the semi was electrifying. He's come here with something to prove, Sean.
Yeah, we've seen Kaynan be very aggressive in the very beginning of most of his matches. And he's not taking off the gas right now.
Well, we've seen these two compete before, and the path to victory for Kaynan in their previous engagement was a back take, I believe, off Craig trying to attack his leg, which is very typical of the Altos Jiu-Jitsu team, especially Andre Galvão and a lot of guys like Lucas Hulk Barboza. They're back attack specialists in the leg entanglement. So Craig's got to be very careful if he opts to start attacking the legs of Kaynan.
Side there.
Craig Jones in the black rash guard, Kaynan in the grayish dark blue there, top and bottoms. Once again, we're live here from Las Vegas, Nevada, Thomas and Mack Center, ADCC 2022 World Championship.
There's a nice double shot.
Just a reminder, Kaynan was actually the gold medalist in the 99 plus division of 2019. Decided to drop down in weight, and Craig Jones was a silver medalist and decided to go up.
So Kaynan already has his hands. It looks like they're locked already. Craig's creating some space with that shin, but he's trying to get an overhook and pull Kaynan in. But you see Kaynan's keeping the distance here. He might try to trip off of this if he can't get his leg into the middle, his right leg into the middle.
Just the power of Kaynan coming through right there, but Craig, maybe not in the worst position.
Yeah, I think he just sat down into that.
Kaynan Duarte on top of Craig Jones, looking to pass, holding that shin down with his left hand. Now cupping the head, watch that arm, because Craig attacked with that beautiful Udigatami, similar position. I believe it was his first match of the entire tournament. I got to say, this is probably the best Craig Jones we've seen in a few years. He had an amazing campaign. Again, attacking Udigatami. Yeah,
that Udigatami there, he used it really well. Like, dislocated an elbow using that from his three-quarter guard position. And the cool thing about that attack is if Kaynan pulls out, that's what lets him go right underneath in the legs. He does have to off-balance Kaynan. He's going to have to use that left leg, that knee lever, I like to call crowbar, to move him a little over the top of him, and I'll get him a little bit easier entrance underneath there.
Kaynan already picking up a couple of warnings for passivity on both knees, mostly framing away, pulling at the back of the head, but not committing to any serious passing attempts as of yet.
Well, I think it's a good strategy to keep the knees on the mat to try to avoid the inversions and, you know, preventing Craig Jones from trying to get underneath them to tangle up those legs. But he's got to watch, because those ADCC referees will start calling stalling, and then they'll start penalizing Kaynan.
Craig trying to pull that inside leg to him. And sees what trying to work in there and pull that into him, cause a little off balance or put Kaynan on his hip.
I really don't see Kaynan going for like a pin or trying to underhook Craig on the right side there. He seems content to just hold on that top right leg. Why do you think that is, Sean Williams?
Yeah, he's trying to pull. I mean, he's pulling Craig's head in, and he does need to be a little cautious there that Craig doesn't bring the head all the way in, because now he's got that cross face, but he has to be a little cautious of that, because even over the top, you're letting the head come in. Even as a crossface, Craig still could pass his head underneath there if he is committed to inversion or going underneath.
15 minutes and 27 seconds left in this match. Points will be awarded at the 10-minute mark, so there's another 5 minutes of grappling action that could potentially happen. The idea of the ADCC point system was to allow grapplers to open up and attack submissions, but you know, in certain matches, it gets a little more strategic than they'd like to see. Look how Kaynan was just shutting down Craig by pinning down his left hand. But Craig just trying to inch underneath, trying to get closer and closer hip to hip, trying to get underneath to have the leverage to hoist them up or start tangling those legs up. There we go, referee calling for action. That's the second warning, I believe.
Now Craig has his hands locked. This will be a little different. Let's see if he's going to try to get underneath there. I like the right butterfly hook that Craig Jones has right now. That way he's on the inside now with both legs. If he elevates.
And how amazing it is, we have about 14,000 people and they all just oohed and awed just because Craig lifted Kaynan's leg.
That's right.
It shows the education of the fans that we have here in attendance. These are 14,000 grapplers here in Las Vegas.
I'm glad you said that. You know, I've been thinking that all weekend is how impressed I am with our fan base, and I believe that's because they're all most of them are practitioners. Like, yeah, as you said, I've heard so many oohs and ahs over little positional exchanges or not even that, potential exchanges, and it's just really wonderful to hear.
One thing kind of pointed out leading up to ADCC during his camp is that he thought Craig made a mistake by moving up in the weight class. He thought that he wouldn't be able to handle the heavier guys. So far, Craig has passed with flying colors. However, kind of maybe the absolute strongest athlete in this division and a great gas tank as well as a measured pace. How do you guys think Craig is going to handle maybe going 20 full minutes plus the overtime rounds that could happen here?
Yeah, it's a good question. Right now, Kaynan is doing a very good job of keeping his legs in good position, but again, we have a lot of time. If Craig gets him moving around and he can get in on the leg, he'll have a legit chance to hit something.
And a penalty point has been awarded to Kaynan, or excuse me, a negative point, -1. So that definitely puts the onus on Kaynan Duarte to get things moving here.
The rumblings in the gym at Atos is that Kaynan's camp for this has just been amazing. He's just had an incredible training camp, looking impeccable in all of his roles and a lot of his preparation. But like we said, he definitely has an advantage. He has that one win over Craig a couple years back. It was a different rule set. It wasn't sub only, it was points, but Kaynan was able to catch Craig, get to his back, and get the win. So mentally, he has a little bit of an advantage here. Physically, he looks a little bit better, but technically, we will find out who is the superior grappler. Or we could find out.
Yeah, well, he's absolutely. It looks like he's in the best shape I've ever seen him in. He's performed very well this weekend. So.
Duarte continuing to try to pass the guard of Craig Jones here. Craig with a little overhook on Kaynan's left arm for a second there. Almost looked like he was going to hit an armpit armbar. Shout out to Silver Fox for that phrase there.
Yeah, he from that knee shield, that Z guard, he likes to hit that triangle off of that overhook, but. He needs to, right now, Kaynan's done such a good job of keeping his right leg on the inside. He should love to see him back it up with a right underhook, but Craig needs to move him around a little bit more.
So there's a couple different ways that this could play out, in my opinion now, just seeing how things are progressing. Kaynan continues to smash and eventually gets a pass, possibly to the back, or gets entangled. If neither of those happens, if it starts on the feet in the overtime, Kaynan's got a bit of an advantage in the wrestling for sure. So that could be to his advantage. He could end up scoring on Craig. He's got, not that he's got better takedowns, but he's no more known for having aggressive and strong takedowns, scoring takedowns. Craig's got some nice throws, but it's really tough to throw Kaynan Duarte. Kaynan now trying to get the pass. Passes to Mount. No points awarded yet, but in 15 seconds, there will be. Now, just a reminder, although he's in Mount, I don't think he's going to get the points once the 10-minute mark hits. He has to have another movement to score, if I'm not mistaken there.
You're absolutely correct. He's going to have to come off the mount and then remount again. The easiest way to do that is to leg pummel off to knee on stomach like this, like he's doing, and then put his foot, and then you can even get knee on stomach points and then go back to mount. He should get knee on stomach points right now. And so that's the best. Now he's back to mount. That's the easiest way to do that.
Similar to that position, if you have the back with the hooks, you can take your hook out, put it back in, and keep scoring here at ADCC. So it'd be interesting to see what, if Kaynan continues to utilize that, rack up the points, put tons of pressure on Craig, and make Craig get desperate to escape. Usually when there's desperation, especially from the mount against a technical submission grappler, that's when they get caught. So Craig has to be careful here. He's got to be patient, but he's got to defend himself.
Yeah, I call this full T when your arms are up like this, just based off the T Kimura. So Kaynan is he's large and in charge. Actually, this is his to mess up. He needs to stop moving, keep his feet crossed, put his hands on top of Craig Jones's head, and then katagatame when this happens. When Craig bridges up to free one arm, you let that arm out and you go to a katagatame. It's literally the most classic mount position right here that you can create. And the thing is that Craig has to do that. If he doesn't bridge up and get one arm free, he'll never get out of this mount. This is as good as you get from the mount, basically, is this full T position, cross-legged, and you can force your opponent to bridge up, free an arm, and immediately hit katagatame. He could also elect to move up on an arm lock, but I think that would be a massive mistake right now. There's a lot of time left. Arm locks, you can lose those quite easy. Katagatame is much safer. And where he is right now, Kaynan can just literally buy his time. It's all about Craig bridging up to get an arm free to get out of this.
And you see Craig repeatedly going for kind of this cheeky Nogi Ezekiel, but it's sort of what he's left with right now. He can't do a whole lot else.
He has to bridge up and get one arm to the side. I mean, that strangle is really difficult on someone who really is as well versed in jiu-jitsu as Kaynan. I mean, you can always catch something, but that's a difficult task. And you can see put his foot back in the half guard. He's just going to pass again and try to score points. That's
Kaynan Duarte
scored more there, and I believe he got another negative, which I'm not there. See there he's bridged up and free his arm now. That was sort of a mistake on Kaynan to let both arms back down. He had such good control, but now Craig could actually work to get out now. He's got both arms down by the hips.
Kaynan Duarte, large and in charge, like Sean Williams says, and in the mount position, up 7-0 with 7 points left, down about 4 penalties, but Craig Jones just reestablished guard. We could see something happen here, and the momentum can change totally.
It absolutely can. Craig's a finisher, and I do think that if you look at Kaynan's past losses, the most previous ones have all been heel hooks.
Yeah.
Inside heel hooks, cross ashis. I'm pretty certain that most of them that he's lost from have been a cross heel hook.
Kaynan Duarte continuing to stalk Craig Jones in the top position there. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left in this match. Battle of Brazil in Australia. Atos versus B Team. Two of the greatest grapplers in the sport today. Here live from Las Vegas, Nevada, to Thomas & Mack Center. Near sold out arena. Probably the biggest audience in the history of grappling. Live on Flow Grappling.
Craig sneaks in that butterfly hook one more time.
But you see that right hook of Kaynan coming nicely. As soon as that leg became a little isolated, he put the hook in. It's a good idea.
So now that they're standing, Kaynan has to be careful. If he walks more than 3 steps backwards, I believe that's when he gets penalties for stalling. So he has to always continually go forward. Sort of the intricate rules of ADCC. Makes it its very unique rule set, different than the contemporary BJJ rules, but one that forces action and submissions.
Vai overextend, Kaynan. Ele vai overextend sem bola. Perna direita pra dentro, o tempo todo. Perna direita pra dentro.
5 minutes, 15 seconds left in this match. Kaynan Duarte. If you notice Sean Williams, he likes to pin Craig Jones's left wrist a lot and just kind of raise it up past the shoulder line. I remember when he fought him in Kasai, he did something similar. He was always controlling the bottom hand to prevent him from hugging his leg.
That's right. It's trying to keep him from going underneath there. Now Kaynan's getting in deep. He's just gonna, if he gets above the knee, there's that triangle I was talking about, but now Kaynan's above the legs. So let's see if he elects to lock his hands. Nope. Craig was able to get some space.
Kaynan has picked up another negative point here. He's at -5, meaning Craig is a sweep away from tying this reversal, but he has not managed to get a whole lot of offense off.
Yeah.
But still, he's remarkably still in it as far as the points are concerned.
Yeah, he would probably have to sweep or a clean sweep to side or attain back or mount to catch up on points. And if he does, technically he would win if he can get to 7. But with 4 minutes left and Kaynan on top being so dominant, I just don't know if that's what's in the books here. I think Kaynan might walk away victorious, making him a 2-division champion, but never count Craig Jones out. The man from down under on the bottom of the Brazilian monster. Now back in contemporary De La Riva, or sorry, butterfly guard here, flattening him out. Back to the mat, to the dismay of the crowd.
Six negative points for
Wow.
Kaynan Duarte. There's enough time here for Kaynan, if he doesn't get moving, to lose his lead.
I don't think I've ever seen that many.
No, not in a finals match. Oh, there, Odugatami again. Kaynan slips out. Three minutes left in this match. Kaynan Duarte on top of Craig Jones, defending all the submissions. Backing out, he's got to be careful. He might get another penalty. Little foot stomp action a la Kaynan Taya Rotolo. Oh, and
That's 7 negative points for Kaynan Duarte. He really needs to.
oh, and Craig Jones
up.
working to the back there. Gets shut down by Kaynan Duarte.
This is a good technique, the octopus guard, but I think it's going to be really difficult on Kaynan. I just think that's going to be a very difficult thing to pull off. He's going to really have to get his elbow high. Kaynan is very good in positionally.
Craig Jones, originally from Australia, moved to Austin, Texas recently. One of the head coaches at the B team. Craig, part of the growing Australia jiu-jitsu scene out there. And now relocated to Austin, Texas. Kaynan Duarte, home base in San Diego, originally from Brazil. The Atos Jiu-Jitsu Training Center with Andre Galvão, Rotolo brothers, Lucas Hulk Barboza. And looking to pass now is Kaynan Duarte to north-south for a second. He's got to pin his back to the mat to get those points. 75% of the back needs to be down. There it is. Kaynan is racking up points here, right? 11-0 with 1 minute and 8 seconds left. Dominant performance by Kaynan Duarte despite the penalties. He is not losing a position. He is in control. He's large and in charge. And Kaynan Duarte is 50 seconds away from winning his second ADCC gold medal. I think we're going to have to see the Craig Jones of 2017 pulling off flying triangles and crazy leg locks. If he wants to win this match, he's got to do something here with 30 seconds left. Otherwise, Kaynan Duarte takes the gold. Kaynan now shucking and jiving and faking some takedowns on Craig. Oh, and Craig tries to take down of his own. Gets deflected and shut down by Kaynan Duarte.
Another 2 points for Kaynan on the board, and despite a little bit of drama there with the negative points, Kaynan Duarte sails to another ADCC gold medal.
And there you have it. Kaynan Duarte is your 2022 ADCC World Champion, making him a 2-division champion of this competition.
And now, your 99
Congratulations,
kilo
Kaynan
gold
Duarte.
medalist, Kaynan